you get it? Is it on?
Welcome to another episode of Taking Over the World with Ed and Aaron. What's up, buddy?
Woo! Energy is high in the building today.
We gotta like you guys are complicated with things.
It's not that it's complicated. It's just there's a lot of moving pieces, and our job is
out.
well. We have to stress out for our clients that they don't have to stress out.
No. If we stress out, that's when problems occur.
Right.
We have to remain calm, cool, and collected.
We are calm right now. We are a little bit high tension, but we are calm. We're just relaying information. This is the information superhighway, bro.
It's
all about communication and explaining things. And we were not getting great explanations before, so it was frustrating people. So now we've got better explanations now. It's less frustrating. Now we just happen to be putting some more of the pieces together and looping everybody in so we can get everything taken care of.
You look stressed.
I'm not stressed. I just like concreteness.
There is no
right.
Well, guess what? This is the wrong fucking business for you.
Well, a little bit, yes, but
no, a little bit, no, a lot of it.
There's concreteness in this, and there's
ambiguity
too.
There's a lot of ambiguity in
ambiguity.
Yes, a lot in this.
I got your
business.
Ambiguity.
There's a bunch.
There is. So our job is to, just
remain calm.
Exactly. Fair enough.
And handle the situation. That's what we get paid to do.
And that's what we're doing right now.
And
we're dominating.
You sound stressed.
No, I'm not as stressed as I was about.
You looked stressed.
30 minutes
you
ago.
went outside, had to get fresh air, had to sit outside because you were gonna faint on the fucking curb.
Bro, get out of here. I like sometimes you just gotta exercise the demons. You just gotta go for the walk. Walk it out. Walk it out, bro. Listen.
You went outside, go sit on the porch, stoop over there. This whole like Snoop Dogg.
I was about to have a little Snoop Dogg out there. Maybe that would have helped.
Maybe that would have helped you feel better.
Maybe
you should have had some.
Maybe a little Snoop Dogg.
You should have
break for emergencies. You put a little doobie in there. Just
have a Tecate. Yeah.
Hey, listen, not a bad idea. When it's all said and done, there will be those. There will be those. But it does. It's funny, It's like because with all this going on, we've had 3.5 weeks of. Everything's been on order online. And I think that's the frustrating part is that, and again, you're right, because transactions can turn good or bad or wherever on a moment's notice. And I think that is the gray area that we operate in. The contracts are what I meant is more concrete for the most
100%.
part. Right? That's what I was more referring to. But the situation and the escrow was just this fluid craziness of, hey, we were ahead of things, on top of things. The buyer was dominating and still is. But then, you get one little hiccup where somebody throws a wrench in the program for really no reason and then doesn't really explain it. You know what I mean? I think that was the frustrating part.
I don't think they understand why this is.
So it's like, we're like, this makes zero sense.
I think they just took a wrench and threw it in there. We're like, let's see what happens.
And now finally we got the answer that's what we were thinking. Like, okay, this makes more sense because the loan to value is still there. It's still secured, right? Like it might change the rate a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's still dialed. Yeah.
I said that at 11 o'clock this morning.
Well, at 11 o'clock this morning, I wasn't listening to anybody about it.
No, I wasn't talking to you about it. I talked to the lender and I was like, all it does is change the LTV, dude. But you're giving $100,000. You're giving almost $1 million. I mean, it's okay.
See, and that's what I thought yesterday when we had the conversation.
That's what I said.
And that's like my math brain wasn't making sense.
No, and then they're trying to tell me the math equation, calculus, and I'm granted, I'm no fucking math wizard at certain things, but I was like, all right, well, you're complicating this because this is the only thing that can change. Yeah. Because in order for them to change the actual value of what a licensed appraiser gave in, that means they would have to go to the Division of Real Estate, say that this person is not qualified, and they need a new appraiser.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Well,
what they do is then it changes their valuation and what they believe the value to be.
Right.
And that's all it is.
And this, I think, is a great example of, and in this case, it was, we're dealing in the jumbo loan world, right? Which is investors and buying and all kinds of stuff, right? But I think this goes into the very common theme that you see most I don't know what you say day-to-day buyers, because it's not like everybody's buying day-to-day, but your average buyer, your average person looking to buy, where do they go for home value?
Zillow,
Redfin,
yeah.
They go there and thinking that just because it's on there, that must be right. And these computers, although computers and AI do amazing things, they can only deal with the information they have. And a lot of these, when these properties sell, we put in good, excellent, fair, poor condition, right? Like there's nowhere in there that says...
And it's literally put in by real estate agents to justify their pricing.
Right. But so in this case, in this property, it is remodeled to the T, the highest end of things, and built out in the 9, right? Where you literally, I actually showed, the crazy part is I showed this exact house to another client about 2 months prior, right? And it just didn't work out timing. But there was a floor plan that was almost the identical floor plan about 4 houses down. And it was sitting vacant. The backyard, the lot was smaller, but it had not the upgrades that this did. It wasn't lived in. It was sitting empty. The backyard was not even remotely close. I mean, there was easily a $400,000-$500,000 swing in in walking distance of 5 houses, and the prices reflected that. So I think that's what the computer system it did. The computer system's like that's what Zillow and Zestimates do. They go. Here you go.
So that brings me to when people sit around and say, "Oh no, because real estate agents are overpaid and real estate agents are they're gonna be phased away and they're gonna be this and they're gonna be that." Well, computer systems can only deal with what you give them. Exactly. If I give you a 2,500 square foot house for $500,000 that has no upgrades and nothing, but it's 2,500 square foot and it's $500,000. I give you a 2,500 square foot that's been completely remodeled from down to the studs. Everything's brand new.
Yes.
And it's sold for $700. It's going to tell you the average of those two is 6 and change.
Exactly.
And no, you can't compare the two because one has been taken all the way down to the studs, rebuilt. The other one has not.
100%.
And that's what we have to do. That's our job to figure that stuff out.
And that's the situation we're currently dealing with. We had the human eye saying, yeah, dude, you got equity.
Right.
The computer saying, I don't think so. Right. But what we've now realized talking to the underwriter, and this is what they were unclear on before, and this is why it helps that you have a team, you have everything, you have people in place, because we're able to talk to everybody and put that human element and convey it.
Right.
So now that we've talked to them, we've actually been told is it just changes the loan to value, which you already knew, but the parameter in this case, the lending and the investment was able to take on an 80% loan to value. Well, where the buyer was, they were at 60%, right? So even as the price drops, we calculated it. If they continue with the same down payment, they're still at 70%. So there's still 10% on the good where it's going to work out and it's going to fund. It might change the rate,
Right.
And maybe they refinance it down the road or do whatever. But that's what we didn't know. And that was the frustrating part. But with the human side of it, that's what we go and work for from the buyers. And that's what the buyers don't see, right?
Right.
And even the sellers for that most part. And it's not that's designed that way,
right?
Because that's, again, like you said, that's what we get paid to do, to put all this together and freak out and handle all the behind the scenes, so they don't have to see. You just want the cake. You don't need to see how it was made.
Right.
You just want the cake.
That's the whole point. That's what I was telling you. We're freaking out over something that's
freaking out. We're not gonna do what y'all think we're gonna do, and freak out.
Well, I don't know why you're freaking out so much.
I just like to. It's fun.
I know it's the largest deal you've done, and I get it.
It's a big one, and it's super good family, friends, and I just you just want to see everything.
Never.
It's fair. So
the longer you're in this business, you're gonna realize that things always blow up. They always blow up at the end. So you're in almost on the finish line of yours.
Yeah.
I have a repeat client called me up. He's a truck driver. He was driving his truck, and he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, my wife saw this house. We want the house." I'm like, all right. Well, have your wife apply for the loan first. Let's see what she qualifies for. Comes back, she only qualifies for like 300. The house is almost 600.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, she doesn't qualify. He goes, well, I declare losses every. He's at 1099. He goes, I declare losses every year. So I have no income. I have great credit. Its credit's like 825 or 830. He's like, but I can't do it. I'm like, all right. So we can do a bank statement loan. He's like, oh, there's those? Like, yeah. What's the rate? Don't ask that.
You don't want to peek behind the curtain.
You want something special? It's going to cost you. Like, it is what it is. You can't get it any other way. Either you have all the parameters to get a regular loan, or you pay a little more to get a special loan.
Right.
But there's opportunities. So we went to go see it this weekend. Come to find out, the house was on the market 2 years ago.
Okay.
And he saw it 2 years ago with the same owners. He saw it at an open house. And I was like, oh, really? You didn't call me? He's like, yeah, we weren't going to buy it. We were just looking. Like, okay. He goes, but now we want to buy it. I'm like, all right, perfect. So we submitted an offer on Friday. We didn't see it till Saturday. And then he's calling me like all day Saturday, all day Sunday. He's like, do we have an offer? Did they get? I'm like, dude, it came on the market on Friday, like officially. Like, we put an offer in the first day it was available. So then he calls me back. He goes, I called the agent. And see, I think that's where our professionalism and our skills, we do things other agents don't do. So I called the other agent. And I was like, hey, let me ask you a question. We saw a house. I made a connection because she happened to be from Miami. So we were able to talk about Miami and where she went to school, where I went to school. And then I was like, hey, let me ask you a question. I put in an offer. Where do I need to be? Mm-hmm. Like, how close? He goes, well, price, you're right there with the other offers that come in. But you're asking for some closing costs. This and that. I was like, all right. So I called my client back. I'm like, how bad do you want the house? He's like, my wife loves the house. I was like, all right. In my opinion, this is where we should be with the offer. Take out the closing costs because you have enough money to cover it. It was just a let me see what we can get.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can do it. We calculated the numbers. We know where we can be. And he's like, okay, put it in. So I put it in. We got it back last night, approved. Now he's in escrow. Now he's calling me. He's like, I've gotten 700 emails today about the house. I'm like, yeah, because you're going to get about 700 more tomorrow. And the day after that. And the day after that. Like,
well, and it's funny because you bring that up too. Is like, so today was like, me and Mercy started laughing because she's like, if you're going to be out, you might as well be out all day. It was like a runaround day for clients, right? And again, you talk about things that we do. Like, I know you do it all the time, and that's where it kind of clicked for me. I had to go put in some smoke detectors, right?
Remember smoke detectors?
I went into the smoke detectors. Yeah, Peter's, man. I still remember that video. I mean, we had an entire pallet full of smoke detectors. And then your car starts beeping at me like we just ran over a wall or a cat or something, man. I was freaking out. But yeah, I was over there. I put them in, had to make another stop. But it's like, they're out of state. We're able to do that. And then while over there, we're like, let's make sure we got this inspection coming up. Let's make sure we got everything. Well, it turns out the gas wasn't on and they didn't know that. Right. So we were able to catch that ahead of time and not have a reinspection fee or a delay in our inspection. And, then you get the buyer's agents asking for an extension because you didn't have the gas on. And so then it became the rest of the day is like, then I ran by one of our other properties. Had to put, some access stuff back because it went missing somehow.
All right, I took the lockbox off the wrong house. Sorry.
But it worked out because I did some...
You were right down the street?
I did some footage over there and stuff too. And then I ran by...
The other listing
and checked in on some of that, which was good because we were able to check things. And what people don't understand is these things that appraisers are coming up with.
Did you bring that other lockbox back too?
Yeah.
The manual one?
Yeah. So we were able to bring them. We updated the electronic lockbox, got the manual one off there, verified the smoke detectors. And what a lot of people don't realize, the smoke detectors, the water straps for appraisal issues. Like, home inspector's going to point them out and you can do what you want with it.
Right.
But those become conditions of appraisal that if they're not taken care of, they're like, well, tough crap. We're not funding yet.
Yeah.
And so trying to get ahead of those for our clients now and take care of them, especially the ones that are not always here and can't handle those things.
Right. And we had an appraisal issue come up on another house that didn't have smoke detectors. And we had to put in the smoke detectors and send pictures. And luckily that appraiser knew us and he was like, hey, can I count on you doing it? I'm like, yep, I'll do it. And, it's kind of the connections you have, how long you've been in business, the kind of reputation you have where they're like, yeah, we'll give you
But that's such a good point, because I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and I think
Your reputation? We're not going to talk about that.
my reputation is still good.
My reputation?
I know,
Reputation
how about that?
at ASU, not too good.
Yikes.
Here it's good. Selling real estate is good, but coaching baseball is phenomenal.
Ah, phenomenal.
But ASU, we're not going to talk about that one.
Questionable.
Forks up.
That's right. Don't you forget it. But I think people and agents in our industry forget that it's the relationship that matters, right?
Right.
Because you said it right there. It's like, one, all day today, having that relationship with our lender where we're able to have that communication and kind of like not be with each other all day, but it's like calling. Like
Right.
most lenders would be like, bro,
When I hear someone call you,
I'm blocking your number,
Right.
block. Don't call me, block. And, the preferred lender on this case is like, yeah, man, he's calling back and forth. We're exchanging. I mean, we even started talking about it yesterday. But, you talk about even the other agents on the other side. The relationship has been good from the beginning. So now bringing stuff to them and having conversations, I think you're more likely to get things done when those relationships are intact.
Right.
When you start to be that a-hole agent that, is over the top and letting them have it and beating them up over things like, man, you're not going to get anything in return on that. And it's just like you said with that appraiser. You've built that relationship. You've established a reputation. And so he's able to be like, hey, man, if you got me, I got you kind of thing.
Right.
Where some appraisers, like if you don't know them or if you were a jerk, they're like, hey, man, why are you doing it? That's BS. Like, stop doing that. And they're like, okay, all right. I'm just going to go ahead and hold this here until you show me 80 units completely done with 3 smoke detectors in each unit and pictures and everyone and then verification, So it's like,
of course.
That's why it really truly is, that relationship and trust that matters the most in this industry, because it's cutthroat and it's crazy.
It is.
And people will be dishonest as hell to you.
So that's funny because now, like we talked about last week, I'm still part of the team.
For now. Mercy and I got some things in works.
Oh, do you? You guys gonna overthrow me?
We've got a hostile takeover situation.
Good luck with that. Mutiny.
We're bringing in Amanda. We've seen her value already. We figured she could keep us in line. We're going to overthrow with your own daughter as the head of our snake.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we're bringing her in. She doesn't know it yet either. She just found out.
So now I have another role.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm doing the other role, and I'm booking appointments. And they're all like, everybody that's done the role or doing the role is like, wow, this guy's like booking a ton of appointments. I'm averaging 2 appointments a day, like booking. And I'm holding about 60% of them, 70%, which is in the position that I'm in, it's high. And it's because of relationships. Like I know so many people and I can call and be like, hey, can we have a chat? And actually I'm getting from some of them, like, why haven't we had this chat before?
Isn't that crazy?
And it's like, because I never wanted to have this chat before.
Yeah, right.
I didn't need to. Now I can have a chat with you. And I even have other agents where I'm talking to, and I'm like, hey, are you going to send referrals my way? For other agents I can talk to. They're like, yeah, I got one today from another agent. So it's the relationships, building relationships where you're like, you know what, I'll send it to you because I know how you're going to talk to the person. I know that you're going to be able to, you're going to explain everything thoroughly. I know you're not going to leave them high and dry. And
right.
I think that's what we do differently than other people. I don't know what everybody else does, but I know what we do is we build that relationship where, like, the client that's in escrow, he's a truck driver, and I'm like, hey, your wife's home, she's got kids. Tomorrow we need 2 years worth of bank statements because it's a bank statement loan. So how about this? Tell your wife today I'm not going to stay late, but tomorrow I'm going to be in my office till like 5:30. I'll just swing by your house on the way home, and whatever information she needs, I'll help her gather everything. I'll help her do everything. He's like, oh, great, I appreciate it, because he's in Tucson today.
Tucson. Interesting.
Well, he's,
There's a college out there that,
What college is out there? Arizona?
Yeah, our tribals, man.
Beartown is there?
Yeah, it's in Tucson.
Is it?
U of A is in Tucson.
I didn't know where U of A was. I know NAU's in Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm. Been there, yep.
Yeah, nice little campus.
It's really cool, actually.
Except it's right next to, like, one part of it is, like, right next to a cemetery.
Yeah, I've only been up there a couple times. My sister went there.
Did she?
It's pretty well known for their teaching degrees, I think.
Yeah, so I know somebody, it's a science degree, so it's like nursing type.
Yeah.
It's good for that as well. And I had a I know somebody who went up there for nursing. We went to take a look at it when we were touring colleges. And when we drove by to get out, right, Amanda? There was a cemetery right there. Right by the driveway.
Is that the one that people were just dying to get into? Yeah, you got it. You got it. Nailed
That
it.
is the lamest.
Dude, that was nailed. That was the best dad joke of the day.
It is.
I think my grandpa used to tell me that when I used
Did
to
he?
like part of this is morbid, grandpa, but like, all right.
It's actually pretty funny. Did you see the movie Office Space?
Yeah, come on. Yes.
I never saw that movie.
You never see? Did you fill out your TPS reports?
No. No, somebody was
You find your
asking.
stapler? You find my stapler?
Somebody was telling me about it. I have to watch it tonight.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Never.
Oh, so everything I just said makes zero sense.
No, because they were telling me about it because I
it's
walked
pretty
in-
good.
Because I
It's an
walked by and
old
I was
movie.
like,
It's a classic.
and I said something to somebody and they were like, the safe word. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's good.
He's
I'm
like,
trying to-
do you go into your office and find things missing? I'm like, no.
yeah, it's funny.
And the Bob and Bob show?
Yeah, not gonna work here anymore. Oh, that's Shakir Nagara. Yeah, not gonna work here anymore.
Is that one of the parts?
Oh, it's good. I got yeah, that's an oldie but a goodie.
I'm going to watch it tonight because I just looked it up and it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
No free advertising, by the way. But yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight.
By the way, we're welcome to get paid advertising. Hulu, give us a call. We know you're watching. I like it.
Disney will take it, yeah. So
I think I would like to hear your analysis of it.
I'm going to have to watch it tonight when I get home because they spent 10 minutes just like
It's
you
pretty
now,
good.
just going off on this movie.
So so you have not a reading book club. You have a
Movie.
TV club.
Yes.
Okay, because you now need to watch Office Space and
The Office.
The Office.
Yes.
The Office literally
How many seasons of The Office is there?
9. But okay, I can tell you to X-nay a few of them. Like 9, get rid of it. I feel like by the time they got to like 8 and 9, I think it was getting a little like played out.
So 1 through 5 is the funniest.
Yeah, maybe even 6. But yeah, definitely like, and you can see where it turns, where it's like, obviously when season 1 came out, it was hard to hurt people's feelings and people didn't care as much of what was going on TV.
But
because like if you
as
like
generations
right
change.
now, if you put season 1 back on TV, no dice, canceled.
Really?
Canceled. I mean, it's not. It's just they are big on following stereotypes. Like I don't think they actually. I mean, people are going to take it offensive. Everybody takes everything offensively, but I don't think that's the intent. Is not to upset anybody.
It's just to make a joke.
It's for good laughs. They're not trying to belittle anyone or anything. It's just they take the stereotypes and they run with them in the first season or so.
Just like SNL.
Yeah.
When SNL does they have one where they have a bunch, they're having an office meeting and everybody's sitting down and they're like, this one guy stands up and he goes, okay, so let me ask you a question. So if I hit on a girl and she says no, she wants nothing to do with me. And that's my one time that I can hit on her. Because now we don't have a rule. We can get turned down, and once we get turned down, we can't do it around. But can I use Aaron's? Because he's married. He's not going to use it. So can I use his?
Yeah, like I think that's funny. But people are like, no, that's offensive. Why would you have said no, right? Like,
and there was another one that said, can I use so-and-so's because so-and-so is never going to ask her out.
Yeah.
Because that's not his type.
yeah. So like basically like one of the first episodes, and it's been played out a bunch of times, like they are trying to play like an ice breaking game. Okay. And so they put a name of something on a postcard, and then they stick it on their forehead so that they can't see it. And then they have to like ask questions to kind of like describe it. And so some of the questions become very, very stereotypical.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it's all meant, I believe, in good humor.
Well, the life used to be. I mean, like if you watch Sanford and Son now, you'd be canceled.
Canceled.
Sanford, like Red Fox would be completely canceled. Because he throws the N-word around in there like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You go to what was the other? All in the Family? Archie Bunker?
Canceled. We need to go back. There's a lot of shows that just would have been canceled.
Oh, dude, you could go through all of those shows.
Canceled.
And I mean, like my kids have no idea what those shows are. But
I barely know.
But you go through some of those shows.
Canceled.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, Easily.
You go through the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons canceled.
Go Cosby Family
canceled. Like, there's so many shows that I grew up on. They're like, there's no way.
Yeah, I think I think The Office. At least give it a good run, seasons 1 through 4, 5. I think
Maybe
you'll get the
6?
gist of it. Yeah, I got to go back and look. 6. I think 7. I started to turn, and there was even a handful of episodes in there where it was like, all right, come bring it back, and you just got to kind of write it out, but and then it comes back. But towards the end, you're just like, all right, you guys are just trying to stay on TV
Mr.
now.
Politico.
Yeah, just like you're just trying to stay on TV. And I watch The Office because it's dumb humor, right? Like, and towards the end of it, they tried to have a big plot, and like it got a little too serious. I'm like, that's not why I'm watching the show.
Yeah, I don't want to have to pay attention to every episode.
0.
I want every episode to stand alone and not mean anything to
And
anybody.
then once we get you through that, I think we'll move you on to. Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
She asked me about that.
Do you like it? Okay, we're gonna move you on to that as your third homework assignment.
Right, so I have to do
that one. I
Office
still
Space?
continually watch. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's dumb humor. You can rewatch them. They're funny. It's just.
Do you watch that? I think it's like the Reno PD or whatever.
Oh, no, I know what you're talking. Reno 911.
Yeah.
No, I never really got it. That one was a little. That was a little much. Yeah, that one was a little much.
I never watched that one, but that one I know is like further out than the other ones.
Yeah.
That was not your cup of tea.
No. All right. Well, I'm interested to hear what you. I'm interested to hear what you have to say even about Office Space.
I'm gonna watch Office Space tonight because I have to figure out what it is that everybody. I mean, because there was like 5 people talking about it when because I made a comment.
Have you seen it?
No.
I'd be interested to see how many pieces of flair you show up with tomorrow.
That's what they were asking me.
So that's going to be the question.
We're going to need you to bring your name tag with you.
And in the next meeting, the next team meeting on Thursday, I would like you to put in a slide that says, now we're going to review the TPS reports.
No. I'll do it for the next one. We're not going to have one for 2 weeks here at our office on Thursday, but I'll do it for the next one.
You need to review the
TPS reports?
The TPS reports over to me.
I'm going to actually see who picks it up.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody will?
I'm going to need you all this week to get the TPS reports done.
I'll have a slide that'll say, next is the TPS reports.
Yeah, it'll be funny. It'll be interesting to see. I like it. I'm excited for you.
All right, buddy. Well, take care of your situation today.
Husamawa.
Husamawa. What the hell is that?
I don't know. Isn't that how they meditate or Husamawa? Whatever.
You need to relax.
All right.
Tell your client everything's fine. Tell him to woosah.
Woosah. There you go. I was close.
What did you say? Husamawa? Or I don't know what the hell you said.
Same shit.
All right,
same,
brother.
same.
Have a good day.
Same.